Previously on Humble Beginnings.
No. I always say good things have to begin from basic, from ground to up. I was telling you how my laptop was falling off. It was sellotapes all over, and I started from Kirinyaga hawking services.
For us, our main interest that time was just to find a livelihood, especially in the stomach.
When I grew up, I realized that I'm not your typical accountant who will sit in the office from 8 to 5. It was actually very boring.
He's a person loaded with ideas, and he isn't afraid of implementing those ideas.
I was about 25 years there.
Should I tell the people that you have more in store for them next week?
Yes. Oh, he does.
You asked for it. I promise to get up close and personal.
Okay,
I will answer any question you ask me.
Karibuni sana to yet another riveting episode of Humble Beginnings. And today's installment is a part 2 of the beautiful story we began last week of Ronald's LLP. And having risen from the gutters and fought their way to the top of the accounting world here in Kenya, we join them today for some fundamental life and business lessons.
First, I need to correct what you say, a big boy. We don't see ourselves as big boys yet, but we are growing up. We are growing up to become big boys.
Business is interesting because business sometimes has a sense of, I want to build an empire for myself.
Yes.
And you having been the brainchild of all these outfits, and now growing over the years and just getting partners on board. What is your business advisory, especially when it comes to you getting to expand and including other people on board? Is it a demerit for you, especially with the larger dream of creating an empire for myself, or it's a necessary step for expansion?
Thank you, Kago. What I normally say is this. One of the things that I left to when I started this business, I had actually had interactions with most people in the business, and I look at the struggles they go through to make ends meet. Sometimes you have money, another day you don't have money. Those kind of cycles, especially for entrepreneurs at startup. One of the things I said to myself that I want to have the peace of an employee, but also the benefits of an entrepreneur or a business owner. Now, you cannot have the peace of an employee without building structures and processes, and without also incorporating other people into the business. And for me, my goal has been to grow this company away from me, which now we've managed to achieve, because there are so many other services that we provide in the company that even I have no idea what they entail. We are now have legal advice on board. We now offer IT audit services on board, which are not really part and parcel of my background. We now offer HR consultancy, which are now over and above what I am capable of doing. So you see, if you want to grow a small outfit, then you need to be at the center of it 100%. But if you're targeting at a bigger outfit that will be able to serve multiple clients in multiple jurisdictions, then you have to build structures and incorporate people who have the skills that the market require. So for me, my goal is to grow the company away from myself and make sure that there are other people, which we have now managed to achieve, but we are still growing. We estimate that in the next 5 years, we'll have more than 20 partners. In the next 10 years, we probably will be more than 30 partners. So we're looking to build a strong African firm. That cannot be done by an individual.
The beauty is that, again, I and Ronald were friends. So it was very easy for us to just talk and trust each other, and then begin and complement each other. So I think we are here courtesy of just our history, consistency, and also our friendship, having known each other, become vulnerable to one another. Our families know each other so well, our children, our wives, our spouses. They are also friends, and we realize that to run a successful partnership, so those are some of the things that you need. It's not about a lot of contractual obligations and setting up the do's and don'ts. You also need to be very good friends and have a same sort of culture, profile, way of life, and we are all Christians, and all that really has just helped us to work together. Yeah. So we really thank God for that, and we know we have so much to then achieve. Yeah.
Settling on the right partner was a game changer, but having the right team was equally pivotal. What does it take to raise an A-team?
Our A-team is a team that can change with the changing market needs, because you see the market is changing every day, and that's why we keep having the trainings for them, so that we keep them up to date with the changing needs in the market. Yes. So we have a very thorough recruitment process. And I'll take an example of our graduate trainee recruitment. So we do at least 2 graduate trainee recruitments every year. The first one we do it in January, and we begin by just sending out a poster out there that we're looking for graduate trainees, and of course we get numerous applications. And so after that, we have to do the shortlisting and of course call them for interviews. Now our interview process is also quite thorough. We have the aptitude test, we have the face-to-face interviews, written interviews, and so after the entire process, we have the team that we're intending to bring on board, and we have some training process that we also take them through for a period of 6 months. So right now in July, we're graduating the trainees we picked in January. So we've taken through them, yes, 6 months. So we've taken them through a training for the 6 months. If you're in the audit department, we've taken them through an entire audit training, so that by the end of this period, they can handle any audit assignment. We also allocate them to seniors who are their coaches, and they work with them step by step, so that they also adapt easily. So we have that training process, and I can tell you by the end of the 6 months, we can easily tell whether we are to retain you or not. Yes.
Okay, so that those that you get to retain, and those that you just get to release to the wider market.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Released to the wider market based on competence. Can I also release you briefly to stretch a bit? Today we're here for the tips. Hope you're taking notes. See you after the break. Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, we are at the Ronald's LLP in Westlands, a top-notch Kenyan accounting firm that began slightly over a decade ago. After a 24-year-old Ronald Bossy quit formal employment and dared the entrepreneurial waters. He would then hawk his services downtown for a while before later forming a partnership with CPA Noandakala, and step by step, they continue to rise and conquer territories in Africa. And who knows, maybe soon, enough other continents too.
Initially, I wanted to be a shopkeeper. When I grew up, I used to say I want to be a shopkeeper. You know why I wanted to be a shopkeeper? Because growing up, eating bread and having soda, that was a luxury. And one of the things that used to fascinate me is, how can a shopkeeper have all these things, good, nice, sweet things? He has all the sweets, has all the breads, the sodas, Fanta Orange was nice and tasty, And the shopkeeper is not eating. So I thought the shopkeeper is one of the most privileged person, in the village.
Fast forward to present day.
We have some business and operations in Rwanda. We have also business in Tanzania, in Ethiopia, in Somaliland. We've been actually working for the government of Somaliland. And also we have business in Zambia. I'll say Ronald is one of the great thinkers we have in this country. Yes. And I'll say one of the main reasons we are where we are
is because of his leadership. Because he's a person loaded with ideas, and he isn't afraid of implementing those ideas. So he has taught me to just implement some of these ideas that sometimes, he talks about paralysis by analysis. What that means is sometimes you can have this idea, but you keep analyzing it until you paralyze. You fail to actually implement it at all. Yes. Okay. So he has taught me to just think of an idea. Of course, have this sitting with the board members, and if we think it's viable, we just proceed to implement it. And that is what has actually brought us this far.
So I find you reading the book, The Art of War by Sun Tzu.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
To begin with, they say a leader is also a reader.
Oh, yes.
Would you define yourself the same way?
Oh, yes. Actually, I usually tell people if you are not reading, the only thing that is happening to you is that you are decaying, because every day is new. And you need new ideas every single day. You cannot address the issues of today with yesterday's mindset. So every day you must keep learning something new. A lot of things are hidden in books because people have written, and if you don't read, then you don't get that rich resource of knowledge, because it's through reading that you learn what other people also have said. And just combine that with what you know, borrow from different people, and then even as a consultant, then it's very easy for you to consult people because you are borrowing widely. Yeah, so the culture of reading, I think every time I go for shopping, I always pick a book. Yeah, that's been my culture. I always try to see what book is new. And I've picked books that I've not read. I haven't read all the books that I have. But why I pick them is that when I find time, then I just get immersed in those books, and I keep reading. Yeah, so reading is a good culture for leaders. We encourage even our employees here to read. Because if they don't read, again, you will find that they cannot do good reports, they cannot be able to last client conversations. And clients are looking for people who are knowledgeable, because they want to pay for your knowledge and your skills. If you don't have that, then you might not really meet their need.
Talking about strategy and talking about the art of war, as Sun Tzu would actually just put it, they say that business is like war.
Oh, yes.
You literally wake up every morning and quote unquote wanting to kill your competitors.
Right.
I'll ask you two questions with regards to that.
Yes.
Who do you consider your greatest competitor? And then secondly, what is this golden strategy that you're grateful that you got to master along the decade that you've been in existence?
In terms of, thank you for that question. In terms of who our competitors are, we have opined that we don't have competitors in this market. The only competitors that we have are ourselves. So, because if we try to compete with anybody, strategy is quite vague in the sense that you cannot discern what people are thinking. So if you try to compete with them, you have to learn their strategy, then you come up with your strategy. The challenge is that people keep changing their strategy. So we come up with our own strategy and say we are competing with our own selves. This is what we want to achieve, and this is why we want to achieve it.
Now, get to tell me, you have an interesting brand personality statement as a company.
Ronald is a spirited environment, I'll tell you. And one of the reasons we picked on this is because we did one of the client satisfaction surveys, and one of the clients mentioned to us that anytime our team gets to their premise, the environment changes. Everyone is excited. We're not the normal auditor. You know, auditors, they ideally are meant to just bring some tension and you know.
The whole atmosphere.
Exactly. But when our team gets to their premise, the client said, the environment changes. Everyone is excited that they are there and they will get things done and done in the right way.
You see, contagious enthusiasm means that in all the processes, in all the engagements with clients and even between ourselves, there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of bubbling. People are not working as if they are straining to work. A lot of infectiousness, people just feeling that we have this assignment to do. We have a new client. We are happy to meet a new client. We have a new employee who has joined. We want to know that person. We want to just get the person quickly assimilated into our culture, to just enjoy, because we spent most of our time here. It would be so boring if we are not happy. So that enthusiasm is what we espouse, and we do different things here that just makes life exciting.
Talking about an exciting workspace, you won't believe what Ronald's LLP did for their staff when the pandemic hit.
We had to put up some measures in place, and of course we had to do the sanitizer stations, the hand cleaning stations, and of course social distancing. In fact, I had to take another office. We had to take another office upstairs to ensure that we have the required social distancing. And apart from that, we also did another major change.
Wait for it.
We began serving our staff lunch in the office. So we began cooking in the office.
Are you serious?
Yes, and we've been doing that for over a year now, because to date we are still doing it.
Cooking lunch for every staff?
Yes. We provide lunch for every staff member, because we realized if we allow them to just go out there to look for food, with all the cases and all, and you might just go eating in some place where they have hygiene issues and.
Okay.
So we decided to make lunch for our staff members. So of course it costed us a bit, but we care for our staff members, and their health is of great interest to us.
Amazing.
Initially, in 2014, I had 20 staffs and I couldn't manage them effectively. I used to find them a lot of headache and all that. But with time, as I grew, as I mature up in leadership, I come to appreciate that people can be of really help to you if you appreciate them, if you guide them, if you develop them, and you look at them positively. As business people in Kenya, we have a way of saying, by the way, employees are the most biggest business challenge, or they are stubborn. We have some way of looking at people as not resourceful to our organization. But once you start looking at them positively and partnering with them and trying to actually demystify the various challenges that we have with them, then people will be of help to us. Okay. Because you can't do business alone. And I always say that without people leadership, you can hardly even run a small kiosk.
God's blessings often look like people. Are there people he's grateful he met on his path?
I owe my elder brother a lot. He's the reason I went to school. He connected me he's given me a lot of connections that have really inspired me. When I'm down, he's the one who has cheered me up, that keep on going, keep on moving, keep on pushing. I will also say that my wife has been very supportive, because my wife has been with me when we were starting this company. She supported me emotionally. When I'm down, she's the one who tells me, let's keep on pushing, you can do that. I also owe it to my pastor, Bishop. When I was, sometimes a spiritual intervention is very critical to your personal growth. Our bishop is called Philemon Washara. He used to preach to me when I was so hopeless,
Those days.
and even he never used to know me, but I really used to subscribe to his message of hope, and that kept me going and moving and trying.
What's been your lowest point in your business journey?
I've had numerous lowest points. At some time when we were just starting with my partner, our business we were auctioned Oh. Yeah, I know. Remember, we coming from home. I got a big padlock on our room number. And the landlord will say, please see me. We had to remove the padlock. We had to remove the writings very fast, the papers that we had been stuck on the door, and tell clients we are attending a conference. Oh. But in the reality, the machines had been taken away, the office had been locked. It was quite embarrassing. And that time I said it will never, ever happen again.
And such a scenario has never occurred again. He took charge boldly and smartly. I therefore ask him, in its present state, if Ronald's LLP was a vehicle, what model would it be and why?
Wow, it would be a German car. It has to be. Yeah, it will be that car that when you get into, you forget that you are on the road, just comfortable, and the experience is good, and it's a car that you are willing to spend your money on. Yes, I would say that would be the car. And because I like driving German cars. Yeah, the aesthetics, the performance. Of course, they come with a cost, and we want the company to be able to have that sort of dimension in terms of quality, affordability, and also the customer experience.
Okay, probably you will put it in the range of maybe a Range Rover or a V8, A V8, I will choose a V8. Not that I'm not preempting what I'm driving, but why I love a V8, it's a more practical car. It will take you to where you want to go, and it's not exorbitant in price. It answers what we are. We will take you to where you want to be, conveniently, off-road, on-road, but we are not exorbitant.
Okay.
You understand?
Certainly.
Yeah, so you need something that we are a practical firm. Yeah, in terms of delivery and in terms of the fees.
Every time you sit and every time you just stand and look over the view on the horizon through your corner office, what do you get to think? What do you get to reflect? What do you get to envision as the future of this establishment? In the next 10, what do you get to see now that you're the strategic manager as well?
When I look at outside my window in the office, I wonder, why is Ronald's Global not written on that big building, tall building? Yeah. I'm asking myself, why aren't we owning that building? What kind of setup do we want for ourselves? Do we just want to be in a small 1 or 2 floors office, or do we want to own the whole building and an establishment and employ people who will be able to work and serve clients in the industry equivalent to occupy that particular building?
Okay.
Yeah.
In this case, you're talking about the Raptor Heights.
Yeah, the Raptor. Why can't we own? If you look at my window right, you will see what you will see. Why can't we own that building? And that's where we are now. We've actually identified a place because I've looked at it for a long time, and most probably in the next couple of few years, 2, 3, 4 years, we will have the same building in place. Yes.
And I still want to come and interview you.
In that building.
In that building.
Yeah. Take it to the bank.
His final words, especially to the young people.
Maybe I will give them 3 words they can use. The most important thing as a young person is to dream. You need to dream on what you want to accomplish, and dream it during the day and during the night. Know what you want, and it must stick to you. The way I'm pointing to you to that probably 10, 15 story building that is across the door. That is my dream. But dreams are just useless if you don't have a strategy. After you've dreamt, strategize. Come up with a strategy that will help you to achieve your dreams, and try to consider various options and aspects that actually might hinder you from achieving the dream, and lay out plans to achieve those dreams. After you've strategized, execute the strategy. Now make it happen. And as you're making it happen, you always have to go with the words of the Martin Luther King, that is say that for you to go to your destiny, please fly, isn't it? If you're not flying, then run. If you're not running, walk. If you're not walking, crawl. But at least as you go towards your laid up dreams, you have to keep on moving. And sometimes small steps, those feeble steps that you make, they will eventually help you to accomplish what you have dreamed. And that is the preamble for the young people.
Power always works from the corner office. But the process, yes, the process often comes dressed in the pain, the blood, and the occasional tear. And that has been the story of Ronald's LLP. And guess what? They're still dreaming. So guess what? Don't give up on that dream as well. Keep dreaming, keep flying. And yes, we will celebrate you and tell your story as well. For Humble Beginnings this week, it's been your, I'd like to say CEO, but not yet. So Captain Cargo, till next time, God bless you.